Hi guys, so in this piece or this part, we're going to be wiring our ultrasonic sensor and alarm that you see here. But we're going to be wiring this really in Arduino. So to skip ahead, you could pause. I'll have 5 seconds. You could just look at the code. 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in this part of the video, I'm gonna pause it and then we're gonna be wiring it. Okay, so let's start building this circuit. So I want you to first look at this ultrasonic sensor that comes with our Arduino kit. If you notice that this has 4 pins, Tinkercad has 3 pins. So first, this is ground, echo, trigger, and voltage. So I'm gonna put this in onto pin number, let's say I'll start with row number 10 on the board. So we'll put that in on row 10. And then let's look behind the board now. So it's gonna be facing outward. But what I want you to see is the ground is on the leftmost and the voltage is on the rightmost. So you just have to be careful when you wire it. Okay, so you can see on the back, the ground is on the leftmost part, the power is on the rightmost, and then the trigger pin is near the power, the echo pin is near the ground. Okay, so I think you can all see this being wired. So let's go back to our Arduino board. Okay, over here. And let's make a power rail. So we'll put a power rail by connecting a red wire onto the start of the power. So let's take let's connect the red onto the 5 volts. Then I'm gonna connect it here onto the red part, so that creates a power rail. And then I'm gonna create a ground rail by connecting the GND port here on the Arduino, the GND, onto the negative part of my breadboard. So this whole rail connected on red is 5 volts, and this whole rail connected to the black cable is ground. Okay, next. So I'm gonna be careful. So the GND on when I read the ultrasonic sensor, the GND is on the leftmost part. So let's just hook that up. That GND will go to the ground rail. Okay. Next, the power rail is on the rightmost part of the sensor. So I'm gonna hook up the rightmost part to the power rail. So now our ultrasonic sensor has both power and ground. And then we used pin 9 for the trigger pin. So trigger pin is nearer the power. So I'm gonna hook this. Trigger pin is near the power on, I think, right there. I'm gonna hook that in. And I'm gonna connect that to digital pin number 9 on the Arduino. Okay, next is the echo pin. The echo pin is near the ground, so the echo pin goes to pin number 8. Alright, then we're going to take our buzzer. And if you notice, the buzzer has a plus terminal over here. That means the power has to go to this part of the buzzer that is near the plus, right? So the plus just says which part should have power. So I'm going to connect that on, I'll just put it in this row. I'll start at, say, 30. Okay. I won't plug it in fully just so you can see. And then we're going to use this pin, 7, 6. I think we put it on digital pin number 5 for the speaker pin. So I'm going to go to number 5. And I'm going to connect it where I connect my power. That's column 30. And where I connect the ground would be over here. And then I'm going to connect this to my ground rail. And then fully I will paste that in. And that is our circuit done. And let's see if it works. Okay, welcome back. And now we're going to be doing the code. So how do we do the code? We're going to start by turning on the Arduino IDE. Okay, so you see here the Arduino IDE. I'm going to open it and it's going to start running. Okay, so I'll just start with a new sketch. So new sketch. So file, new sketch. We'll just create a brand new sketch for this to work. All right, so it starts off with these two pieces of code, setup and run as always. So the first thing is, let's create our variables. Int distance. So why do we create it here and not inside the function? Well, we create it here so that every function can access these variables. These are what we call global variables. Okay, and then we'll put the speaker pin. We're going to use pin 5. Int trigger pin. This is the thing that sends the sound ultrasonic wave. 9. Int echo pin. We're using pin 8 because echo pin is the pin that turns on to listen. Next thing we're going to do is we're actually just going to take the code of Arduino or Tinkercad, and we're going to reuse this because it's too advanced for someone to write it really at this stage. We're just gonna go to Tinkercad and take their function. And this is why functions work, because you could reuse code. And we're going to paste that. So now we have something that we know works. Okay, and then now we're going to set up our Arduino. So first we're going to turn on the serial monitor so we can receive information from the serial monitor. And then we're going to set the speaker pin, which is pin number 5, to be an output pin. So it's going to be ready to read information. Okay, and then here we discussed this previously, the distance. So we're going to use distance equals, remember this number that we discussed, 0.0723 multiplied by read ultrasonic distance. And here we're going to change 9, which is really the same to trigger pin. And then here we're going to use echo pin, right? So 9 and 8. Next, if distance is less than 50, else, okay? So if it's less than 50, we are going to, here we go. We're going to use the tone function, speaker pin, 523, which is the frequency, and then 1000 milliseconds or 1 second. So that's 1000 milliseconds. Next, if it's, I guess, if distance is not less than 50, we're just going to turn off the pin, right? So digital write speaker pin low. And then we're going to put a delay of 1 second, and we're going to print to the serial port the distance in centimeters. So serial.println distance. And with that, that's our whole code. So we're gonna save. We'll just call this ultrasonic code test. So, and then now we're gonna get it to run. So to get it to run, all you have to do is you have to click build, and then we're going to save that to the Arduino Uno. So now all we have to do to get that to run is we're going to click this one called Verify, and then we're going to upload that to our Arduino Uno board. Okay, so it's your Arduino has to be plugged in to your computer for this to work on the USB port. And then I'm gonna be videoing all of this. All right, so here, get ready. So we're gonna click Verify. All right, so that all works. And then now I'm going to be clicking upload to the Arduino. And then we're going to be seeing if our code works or not. So let's check out our circuit. Let's put my hand. And now you hear it beep because the distance is... Okay. Beep. Okay, so here my hand is on. And look at the distance. It is just 8. Then I'm going to remove my hand. And look at the distance. It goes back to 100 plus. And then here, just so you could see, that's what the circuit looks like up close. And that is our ultrasonic sensor with an alarm. And we could use that to help people who are sight impaired. They could use something like this to beep before they hit something. And that is our circuit done.